Cool. I think we should just get into it. You know what
That's
I'm
what she
saying?
said.
Like, because let's just talk about what makes us qualified to even. Because what I'm looking to do is bring two perspectives to the table, but I don't want it to be from people who have never been married before, because it's like, to a degree, there's stuff that you're gonna speculate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you agree with me when I say that until you've actually gone through marriage, you can't really truly understand the different challenges of marriage.
Correct.
Okay. So you and I are both someone who have, um, with our respective partners, experienced sex before and after marriage.
Correct.
Okay. But I all I can do is speak from my own personal male perspective, and all you can do is speak from your own personal. Is it okay to say female perspective? Because I heard that's not a word I could use anymore.
Who told you that?
This comedian, she like really got on me. Like
Is she a feminist?
I don't know,
She
but
might
like,
be.
let's say she's a feminist. Like, feminists don't accept that word.
I don't relate. I can probably see why, because it's overgeneralizing them. If she's a feminist, but I can't relate to that. I'm okay with it.
Okay, good. All right, so then good. Then, to be clear, I mean no offense when I say, um, you know, from a, what was I saying? Female.
A male and a female perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can offer that female perspective, because I look. That's how I learn. I know before even talking to you, there's probably gonna be some things and a perspective and a viewpoint that you're gonna share that, even deep down, I'm gonna be like, damn, I didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm hoping that, you know what I'm saying. Just, yeah, I'm looking forward to those moments. But I guess let's start off with a general question.
Shoot.
Would you say sex before marriage? All right, if you had to pick the sex you preferred, the one before marriage and the one after marriage. Now, the one you've experienced personally, I don't even know what it is. We'll get into that after, like what made it what made it this, But if you had to pick, which one would you prefer, and why?
So I have two answers. What I would say, if what my choice would be while I was married, I would say sex while married. Now that we're, I'm not married anymore. Surprise! It's in my inbox. I would say sex before marriage was better.
Wait, did you just
So
say you preferred sex after marriage,
no,
though?
while I was married,
Hmm.
I would say sex during marriage, sex after marriage was better. Like my perspective, you just like you said before, 40-year-old Shayla doesn't know 35-year-old Shayla doesn't know 40-year-old Shayla.
Right.
So looking back on sex in marriage, I was at that moment in time. Oh, sex was amazing in marriage. There was more. If you want to talk about the why,
So the best sex you had actually came after marriage.
right.
Wow.
Hmm.
So the best sex you had came after marriage, but you also said you'd prefer sex before marriage.
Right.
Wow. All
Is
right.
that
So now,
weird?
yeah, I mean, I want you to make that connection. Like, I figured you would. You know what's crazy? I as wild as that is, I agree. But
It's not
I want to
wild.
know. I want to know how that could be possible for you. Like explain that.
Um, I would say once you're able to experience the facets of sex before marriage, during marriage, and after marriage, it gives you something to go against, right? So you have like literally everything to go against. I know what it's like before marriage. I know what it's like after marriage. I know what it's like post marriage. So to me, I feel like sex after marriage is more freeing. If that makes more sense.
What do you mean?
So Now, okay, let's get down to the definition of what I mean by after marriage.
Yeah, like
My
like
after marriage is part of my after marriage is okay, I'm married now. This is who I'm having sex with. Part of what I'm saying too is after marriage, meaning my marriage is over and now this is my sex life.
oh, okay. So explain that. When you say, all right. So when I'm
I got
talking about sex before and after marriage, I'm talking about
before you're married
before
and now
you
that you're married.
and then like now you're married, not now you're married
Not
and
married.
then now you're not married
Right.
and then now you're having sex.
Right.
That's we can
But
get
no,
into that.
we can get
But
we're
we
gonna
want
save
to
that.
let's
As a
give it
flavor
its own
saver.
classification. What are we gonna call that?
Post marriage.
Yeah. So post marriage sex.
Right.
Okay.
So
That's
I
interesting.
still would say that sex after marriage, it still had its own flavor. Like it's to me, it still
Okay.
has own.
That's still the best sex you've ever had.
Yeah.
Now tell me what made it the best sex.
Probably because you know that this person belongs to you. It's more intimate. There's more feelings. I'm a woman, so it's more feelings involved. You know that you can express all those feelings. You know that this is a person that's going to accept those feelings. You know that this is your person.
Okay.
And the funny thing is like the male perspective from what I've heard is so different because it's like y'all still seem like y'all like aren't okay with just having one vagina for the rest of your life. Where I at that point in my marriage I was okay with just having one penis for the rest of my life.
Okay.
One
Now,
experience.
now,
One
okay,
person.
now, all right. So, isn't the issue now that you can't accept who I am if that's the case? Like, I can accept the fact that you're good with one. That's you're making that decision for you.
Right.
You're deciding. Look, I can choose between one or more than one. And for me, what's more aligned with my happiness is one. Right? That's what you. That's this is you made for yourself. It wasn't because I asked you to make it. It wasn't because I said you got to choose that or you can't. You know what I'm saying? It was just that's what aligned more with your happiness. So that was really. It wasn't the selfless decision. It was the selfish decision. It was like this. What we're all right. Cool. So
I
but
agree
you're
with that.
saying who I am. It's like it could be like it's. I would still need. See, for me, there's a difference between satisfaction and um, I guess contentment, if that makes any sense, right? Like, I could love the sex we have, but that's just not enough, right? So it's like, now you like, I love the sex we have, and because of that, it's enough. But I think that, but it's
That's
like,
more contentment. That's not satisfaction though. That sounds more like I'm content.
I
Because if
mean,
you're saying it's not enough, you're not satisfied. If
I
you
don't,
say,
I don't know,
love the
I don't
sex
know
we
about
have,
not satisfied if I love it each time.
but you just said it's not enough.
Yeah.
That's not satisfied then. Like that's like somebody giving you a plate of food and you're saying I'm still hungry. It's not enough. You're not satisfied.
Okay, let's take that example. Let's say somebody gives you a plate of food and you are satisfied.
Right.
You're happy with that plate of food.
Okay.
And tomorrow you come back to give you that same plate of food. You're gonna be satisfied again, right?
Yeah.
And tomorrow they give you that same plate of food. You're gonna be satisfied again.
I see where you're going.
You the next day after that, you might want a lesser food. I don't give a damn if it's a hot dog at this point, a slice of pizza, like macaroni and cheese. It doesn't mean I like that food better, but you know what I'm saying. It's just the difference is with you. You're like, look, if I like that food, serve me that food every day for the rest of my life, and I got no
You
problem
know
with
what
that.
it is.
And for me, and for a dude is saying, look, a good dude is saying, I'll do that for the most part. For the most part. Like, forever, like 50 years, for 50 straight years, you'll be happy with the plate. The food is good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, you know what, all right, bring in another side dish.
Here we go.
bring in a side dish
Here we
one night,
go.
spice up the food out here, man. Do something.
See, but that's what makes the marriage part of it good, because it's like a camaraderie. Like, you get to be able to say, okay, well, this is what I want to do now, or this is how I want to mix it up, or this is what. See, and part of it too is I really, and I'm not going to speak for every woman, but I know I don't like to train you on how to please me.
Bet.
So if I'm with you
Mm-hmm.
and you're my husband,
Mm-hmm.
you know how to please me because we've already been doing that.
That's an assumption.
No, that depends on the woman too and how direct she is. Me,
No, I mean, you could be direct, but you're
We're
saying what
talking
he
about-
knows. You could be direct. Like, look, there are a lot of direct teachers, but that doesn't mean that every student walks out knowing the lesson.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So directness works for some people. Some people directness, like or blunt, blatant directness, that's not what works for them. Sometimes some people it takes a different approach. And I'm saying if your mate directness works perfect for them, then you got no problem.
Right.
Then you're right. Once you direct, they get the message and the story. But if your mate happens to not be someone where directness, just you know what I'm saying, like where that makes them less confident than anything. You see what I'm saying? Then I don't know. But keep that in mind, right? If I don't know, let's just make the decision. Like let's assume you're getting married. Shouldn't I assume you've already decided you're at the bare minimum happy?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So then we can assume that, satisfaction for you with this partner is not an issue.
Right.
So
Because
then-
I figure at this point I know your body, you know my body. You know what I like, I know what you like.
Okay.
We're at that point. We're married.
Okay.
That depends on your standards beforehand too. I'm not going to marry somebody I'm not sexually compatible with.
Okay.
And I can honestly say that my husband hit every mark sexually.
Okay. So then now here's the question. You've described why sex after marriage is the best sex you've had. But now tell me why sex before marriage is your most would be your preference. You said, but that would be that's my preference. So what makes that your preference?
I think it's the exploration. Like you figure like, okay, so before like going into marriage, I'm not gonna say that I didn't have that like doomsday thought, like, okay, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think you have it. You have. I think everybody has it. But then I knew at the same time that I was content with him. He would satisfy me. But I know during that time, up until that moment, that freeness is what I enjoy. Everybody enjoy being a little hoe every once in a while.
Wait, so you feel like so even though the best sex you had came from the knowledge and security of knowing this is my person, you're saying the sex you prefer is the one that came with a little freedom to be a little hoe from time to
A little
time.
bit.
That's it. Well,
It makes it
damn.
fun. That
Okay,
makes
so
it
what if I
fun.
told you as a dude, I would have to agree.
I wouldn't be
The
surprised.
best sex I've ever had, I swear to God. It was like all right, tell me if you experienced this. During this whole marriage process, when you're really like going through this whole like I'm fucking really doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I picked them. Like you're in a good place with the decision you made. You're happy about it. You're like you're honored the person picked you. That whole shit.
Mm-hmm.
That whole feeling overwhelmed you. Like for me, it was like the ultimate feeling of like acceptance. For me, it was like all the fucking shit, like all the imperfections, all the shit I put you through, and like you still accepted me. Like it humbled me. It made me feel so like that level of acceptance. Like when you feel
That's a
like
good
you're
thing.
perfect and people accept you, it's not really a big deal. You feel like you earn that acceptance, right? But when you feel like you're flawed, you're broken, and things like that, and people accept you, it's like it gives you an emotional high. Like it
Right.
gave me. So it made like, yo, I'm telling you, like the sex, like we was on a cruise, yo. Like the sex was it was the craziest. Like from the
Are you
standpoint
talking
of
about-
quality and quantity. Like we couldn't keep our hands off of each other. We're talking 3 to 4 times a day for like maybe a few weeks. And I'm like, It's never been like this. Like, couldn't keep our hands off of each other type shit. But and it was never like that. Not even in the beginning, because obviously there's a level of comfort that's not there in the very beginning. And then throughout, there's always those battles of insecurity. Like, am I the only one? Is this where is this going? Am I? You know what I'm saying?
That's what
And
I
so
mean by
so I'm saying. So it's like, I absolutely agree with you. Like, that was the best sex. But which one would I prefer? Yes, like that sex. I knew that the responsibility it came with. Like, the reason I'm able to open up like this is because I have full confidence that you will never,
Right.
ever. And it's like, each ever is like, ever, ever. Do this with anyone else for the rest of your life. And it's, oh my God, it becomes like,
Yeah.
but here's, okay, so let's get into it then.
Let's get into it.
Then you, as a guy, so far we agree so far. But then here's what happens. As a guy, it's like, you know what? You get married, right? And you like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I'm going to really try this shit, man. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Just you. I put all that energy into you. Anytime I think of somebody else, I'm going to transfer it over to you. Anytime I want to watch porn, I'm transfer it over to you, right? I feel like eventually all that energy becomes too much.
Because you're making it a responsibility and a task now.
Who said? I never said that in my head.
You're not.
I just said
but that's
I'm
what
transferring
that is.
Where would you like me to transfer that energy? I
Okay.
said I'm transferring the energy to you.
Okay, so this is
which
my
means
question for
that
you.
energy used to go towards other places.
Okay.
But I'm like, I'm not going to take it there. I'm going to do the right thing. And I'm going to transfer that energy to you. And then you got from that, I'm making it your response. No, I didn't say that.
Not my responsibility or the woman's responsibility. I mean, it's like you're... Okay, so this is what I mean. It's nothing wrong with thinking about other things or other people. Why is that wrong?
I didn't say what?
Right, but so why when you said that when your mind wants to go somewhere else, you're taking it back to her? Why do that?
What are you talking about?
You
No.
said when my mind goes somewhere else, I'm going to take it back to you.
That somewhere else could be towards a previous sexual partner. It could be that. It could be one of the women
you mean
were like
physically going.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like, yo, man, like somebody that you cut off to do the right thing. It was
Okay,
like, nah, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and then like a few weeks go by. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't on no bad terms. You know what I'm saying? The person, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but your mind goes there and you're like, nope, I'm not gonna hit this person up. I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna transfer that energy right over to you. That ends up, you know what I'm saying? Whereas before, that energy ended up being something else. Like, yo, what you doing?
I see what you're saying.
So that's what I'm saying. Once all that energy is now transferred over, is that something you really feel improves the sex life for you? When your partner just wants you twice as much or 3 times as much as normal?
I wouldn't say it improves it. It makes you just being wanted is always a good thing. That's always a good feeling.
I'm gonna write that one down. You said being wanted is always a good feeling.
It's always a good feeling.
You know. Now, would you say that both being wanted is a good feeling for the woman or both parties?
For both.
Oh, okay. Do you do things to ensure your partner feels wanted?
Why wouldn't you?
After marriage?
Yeah.
Okay. That was one of my questions, right?
Okay. Look at me answering questions.
No, good job, right? No, I just wanted it honestly. One of my questions was, do you feel that you were just as seductive after marriage as before?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
And he still cheated.
Yeah, but we already assumed that before coming into it that he wasn't happy with one. So that I mean, he agreed to a rule that was
just not him.
destined to his destruction,
Just
right?
wasn't him. But what I can say is the seduction didn't go anywhere. But that's because of who I am.
Okay.
We
Okay.
didn't go anywhere. Because I would, honestly, women, we would rather.
Name something, like, give me an example of something you didn't stop doing.
I can give you something that I started doing more.
Oh, shit. Okay, go ahead.
This poor man. It's probably why he cheated. But for, I would say for like the first like 5 years, I wasn't into giving head.
Wait, for 5 years?
I would do it sporadically.
And it lasted 5 years?
Yeah.
Love right
He was
there.
cheating.
Love it. See, do you see what I'm saying?
Just go
So
get
do you?
it
Okay.
from somewhere else.
Okay. All right.
No.
Is that? Would you consider that? Is there such a thing as reasonable cheating? Would you consider that reasonable cheating? You don't give head, and he's like, she gives head. She loves giving head. That's all she wants to do is give head. She can't wait to give me head.
No man is okay. So if he's cheating and just getting head,
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, look.
okay, that happens. He just gonna get some head. That's it.
Ain't nobody just gonna get no damn head.
Thank
Ain't nobody
you.
just gonna get no
Say
head.
it into the camera.
Ain't nobody just got like
Ain't nobody gonna cheat and
anybody
just
got
get head.
just like you know what allowed for that lie? You remember Belly?
Yeah.
Nah, he was just getting head. Like, the fuck out of here, yo. He was getting head that night. It was out. What do you think
Right.
would happen whenever they got to where they was going?
Exactly.
Like, the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not doing this.
But I started to do it more because, first of all, I was traumatized from my relationship before him, so I wasn't like into it. And then I would do it sporadically. It would be like a here and there thing, and then probably like, it was close to the time where we actually started talking about marriage, where I was just like, you know what? And then it just became more. And then after we got married, it was like all the time. All the time. But before that, it just wasn't. It wasn't.
You gave him
something
more head after marriage.
after marriage.
You're saying he got more head.
I know. It was like, you got me, bitch. Yep.
All right.
But it
so
wasn't even-
when you
but
say
it
more
wasn't
head,
planned.
what are you saying? Give me an example of what you just gave him head before sex more, or you gave him random head.
No,
like,
it was random head.
Random
it was
head?
like where I
Give me
wanted
an
to, like,
example of
literally
some
where
random headness.
Literally where my mouth would water. And it never was like that before. And I to this day, I can't explain why or where it came from.
You don't remember
or the
how you
logic
viewed him
behind it. No.
no, wow. You
I
just,
think I just wanted a dick in my mouth. And he was there. And he was consistently there. And
why
so why not
didn't
make
you
it
want
your
that
husband?
before marriage? I don't get it.
Because I don't know. I'm telling you, I can't explain
That's
that logic.
crazy.
I can't
Marriage
explain
made
what,
you want to suck dick.
what happened. I can't explain what happened. But with him, it was all the time.
You need to sample her blood.
Some guy asked me.
We're gonna need to extract some of this blood. Find out what kind of
Let me tell you,
what your makeup is.
Some guy actually came up to me and was like, "You're gorgeous."
Never
I was
heard
like,
that
"What's
shit
your
before.
blood type?"
Something
What
about
is
marriage
your
made me
blood
just want to
type?
suck dick.
I know, right?
It's crazy. I never did it
was.
before. Got him to still marry me, and then after that, I was like, you know what? More dick sucks for
I
you.
don't know why.
That's crazy.
But he was never the one to ask for it. Like, he was never the one that was like, "Hey," but
Without him asking for it. This nigga, he was living the life.
yeah, he didn't know what he had.
He didn't know what he had.
Didn't know what he had.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Didn't know what he had.
You had a question.
Cause we didn't segue into it.
Okay.
Because I wanted to segue into it. So let's talk about you. You're not answering the questions you're asking me.
Okay, cool. So what was it? Let's recap.
So you said that you asked me when was sex better for me before or after marriage.
I did answer.
You didn't elaborate. You made me elaborate.
I actually elaborated and said how many times we had sex, why.
But that's okay.
That
So
was after
you said the cruise, was that literally after marriage,
That's
like a
literally
day after marriage?
No. But then after that too, like when we got home, I would tell you for at least 2 weeks. For at least 2 weeks, we was on like a sexual high, but like a literal emotional high too.
Mm-hmm.
Like can't believe it. We're you know what I'm saying? Can't believe we're here.
And I
type
think
shit.
that's what makes it good for a woman.
Yeah.
Like after you're married, that stays. It doesn't last just 2 weeks.
That was one of my first questions too. Do you
It
feel
lasts
like
forever.
marriage is a sexual finish line? Like, oh, fuck. Yes. Finally got this motherfucker.
No, I feel like it's more of like I was okay, probably on an emotional level though.
but that emotional level is what made the sex better.
Right.
So think about it.
So yeah, maybe. You always gotta make it be like a fucked up thought.
No, but
Because
think
now you're
about
like,
no.
oh,
That
I
was
got
look.
him.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want you to think I make. That was the first question. Is marriage the finish line? Because like it feels like it from a male's perspective sometimes. Because it's like, damn. Like before, like you know what I'm saying, it just the sex seems to change. Now for you, it's like you're like, nah, not for me, motherfucker, suck more dick. Like I don't. I would be curious to ask my male viewers who are married, like how many of them got more head after sex, like more,
After
like
marriage?
yeah, after marriage. You're
I'm
right.
not sucking your dick after sex.
Well, it depends on how good it was, though, right?
Dormant,
It depends
maybe.
on how good it was. Sometimes it's
Pop it
so
out,
good,
pop
you
it
like,
in.
I just needed one. Yeah,
But not
just saying.
after it's done. That's weird. No sucking a flaccid dick.
I get it. I mean, it's sensitive. Like I don't, you know, look.
Can you imagine? That's happened to me before. I'm not doing that.
I be ready to swing. I get off.
Right.
Yo, dog. Like,
Like, let me
yo.
just be
Like, you know what's
spontaneous.
crazy?
Y'all
Y'all
be
be the
doing that
same
shit.
way. Y'all be the same way. If a dude eating you out and you nut, right? You know what you do? You wiggle.
That shit is painful.
Well, then, if you could understand right after nothing that you don't want to be touching certain places.
All right, but let me
like-
just explain something to you then.
What?
So then why do y'all go ham then? Like, why do you try to do it?
To do what?
Like, so if you saying that after we get head and we trying to get away from you, why do you keep trying?
To make sure,
Exactly.
like, we came. To make sure, but you know we came. Like, you know we
But
came.
still, we do it for cynicism too. It's a little
No, to make sure, because you know why? We've had a lot of close calls. Well, you're like, and then you fall back like, I don't want to go. He was like, I was almost there. It's like, the fuck? Yeah, why did you stop when you did? Like, god damn. So it's like those situations make you like, I got to make sure. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like when you almost get the nigga to tap out, when you feel like you heard the nigga tap out in UFC, you let him go, and he did, and he act like he didn't. Now the next time, you going to make sure the refs see that shit.
Right.
So that's why. And then number two is like, it's obviously a turn on. Like making you come eating you out, it's not something a lot of niggas could do. Like we know that. We know most guys that eat you out probably can't make you come. So it's like if you're one of the few guys to be able to eat a woman out and make her come, that in itself is a turn on.
Yeah, it is.
So like, yeah, you want to savor that moment to a degree. So those are the top two reasons in my opinion.
Is there anything that you've done more after sex? I mean, after marriage?
Done more after marriage. What do you mean?
Like how I said that I started to give head more. You ain't got to go into full detail, but you know.
I mean, I would say
It's fucking turned
there was a period of time where I felt like I initiated more. Do you see what I'm saying?
on. You don't feel that way now?
No, I'm saying versus before marriage. Like before marriage, I didn't really initiate that much. Like I would initiate sometimes, but it's like if you're asking, is there something I feel like I did more? Yeah, like there's a period of time where I feel like I initiated more.
What's it like?
So finish line. Okay. All right. I guess you answered this question though with what it
What
was
was
for
the
you.
question?
Well, the question was, right? Do you feel you've made a huge sexual sacrifice by getting married? Huh, actually, I'm
I don't think
interested
that's a
in
sacrifice. What do you mean I answer the question with the head?
what. Well, it is.
How?
What time out though?
How is it a sacrifice? on
Think
what?
about that. Think about that. Just think about your answer now and think about how it correlates to how you answered your previous ones.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question again. Do you feel by getting married, you made a huge sexual sacrifice?
I don't think so. I don't look at it that way.
Okay.
Why?
Well,
Your brain is moving a lot. I can see it. I can see it in your forehead.
you told me your preferred sex life was the one that gave you freedom.
Right.
That's what you gave up after marriage. So for me, giving that up forever was so great to you that you decided, like, you know what? That's the one. reason, like, I would prefer sex before marriage because I would prefer that, like, we're talking preference here. I'd prefer that, right?
Right.
So if you give up something you prefer forever for marriage, how's that not a huge sexual sacrifice?
Because I think before you get married, okay, so marriage is always the goal, right? Any type of committed relationship, I would hope that some people, marriage is always the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like as a woman, I didn't look at it as a sacrifice. I looked at it as maybe, like you said, a finish line. Like, this is what I want to do. So to me, it wasn't a sacrifice. Like, oh my God, I'm going to lose this. I'm never going to be able to do this again. It was more of like, this is an accomplishment for me now. Like, it was.
No,
So
we're
I
just
didn't
saying
look at it as a
in
sacrifice.
hindsight though. Now you have perspective, and now with that perspective, you said, you know what, the sex life I'd prefer was the one that came with freedom. Was the one that came with a certain amount of freedom.
Right.
So in knowing that that's the one that you would prefer, all right, for me, that would be specifically why I would say, yeah, it was a huge sacrifice because of that freedom. Like, giving up that freedom is a huge sacrifice. Like, we're not saying doing it, we're just saying the freedom to.
I know what you. Yeah.
Like, it's like, and you're giving that up forever.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, that's a huge sexual sacrifice. You don't even think, like, we're not saying you're not doing it willingly. You're not saying we're not doing it lovingly. We're not saying your partner's not doing the same thing. We're not saying any of those things. We're just saying, in itself, giving up the sex life that you actually would prefer, even though you admit that the one that came after was the best. You're like, I'll give up. I would give up the best sex I've ever had in my life for the sex that gives me a little bit of freedom. I think that's interesting.
It is very interesting. When you say it that way, then it feels like a sacrifice. I think in the moment it didn't feel like one.
Of course
yeah,
not.
Look at in hindsight, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you also don't know. You can't miss something that you never. I don't know how to explain it. Hindsight is a sacrifice, yeah, but in the moment it felt like I said, it felt like an accomplishment. Like, this is something that I'm happy to do.
Do you think that the accomplishment part came more from the sacrifice they made? You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel accomplished that they're willing to make this sacrifice for me.
We really think it's a sacrifice?
Well, in that moment, right, you even said what made it best is the fact that you know it's yours. We know in that moment it's not really yours, but in your mind, that's what
Right.
you've told yourself. So
Right.
it's like, isn't that, by it being yours, haven't they submitted that to you? Haven't they given you see what I'm saying? So at least in that moment.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
That made him a good boy, though. Wasn't always.
Huh?
Hmm?
That made him a good boy? The head?
No, the sacrifice that he would have had to make. Like, like, I know with him, like you said in the beginning of, he basically walked into this knowing that this is not, you're not capable of that. Like, you're not capable of just having sex with one person for the rest of your life.
Right.
So that's why I say for him, even then I didn't think it would be a big sacrifice for him. Like, there's no stopping you guys. Like, there's no stopping men from following what's innate in them. Like, it's no stopping that.
Why do you say men? Why isn't it people?
Because I don't feel like.
You feel like they're stopping women?
No, but here, let me explain. You watch National Geographic.
Uh-huh.
What animal are the ones that are what gender species are always the ones that are on the prowl? It's the men. You
For sex, yeah, the men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it.
But who decides?
It's innate. It's in you.
But who decides?
Who decides what?
Who's having sex? Who decides which man is gonna have sex?
That's an individual choice.
The woman. She makes her decisions by deciding who wins that fight. So really, them niggas fighting because of her.
Okay, I know what you're saying.
If she was just giving up the ass, if she was like, you know what, both y'all can have some ass.
I'm talking about in a marriage dynamic.
Okay.
So the man, it's natural for you guys to just prowl. Like, it's normal. Like, which is why I say that a lot of times we can't be upset at you guys for following your natural instinct to want to do that, right? We can criminalize you, and we can in our minds say that this is wrong, it's society standards, you shouldn't be fucking other people, but that's us trying to suppress you from doing something that's naturally part of your makeup. This is naturally
Right.
who you are.
Right.
It's in the B-blade.
Right,
It's
which
in the Bible.
which trips me out because
So-
like y'all been on a date. Like if we're married, right, which means we've been on a first date, right? You knew I was trying to smash that.
Right.
So like what more you need to know about me? I was trying to smash you on the
Right.
first date.
So that's
like what
that's
more
why
you
I'm
need to know?
saying
Does that?
It's not really a sacrifice for you guys because it's in your natural makeup. This is what you're doing. This is what you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna continue to do. Unless you try to stop it and try not to do it, but it's in your natural makeup. It's normal. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but what I'm saying is in your natural makeup to want to spread your seed.
You don't know me.
I don't know you, but I know enough. I know enough.
All right. Let me ask you this, then. Do you feel like, because you like, for you though, like, I don't know, like for you said it was great sex after marriage, and so I don't know if like for the people that, let's say sex have declined after marriage, where it changed, right? I mean, let's understand forever is a long time.
Yeah.
You could say that's a shame, but we're talking marriage means anywhere between 0 to 50, 60 years. All that's included. So it's like there's a lot that could happen between that time that won't necessarily happen with somebody that you had a fling with for 8, 9 months.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like if your life has consisted of series of flings that lasted in anywhere from a few months to 3 years, then yeah, your sex life generally is going to be great.
Right.
Like you won't really understand what could actually take place when you decide like, no, I'm gonna embark on a journey to sleep with this one person, you know what I mean, forever, right? So it's like for those people that have those challenges, do you think, I was watching Kevin Hart's special.
Right.
Did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked
There
you
was
if you watched it. I watched it before. You remember I texted you? I was like, did you watch it yet? Go ahead.
I was trying to. Go ahead. Remember? And then you started talking.
Go ahead.
You gonna let me?
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin Hart's special, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that part, that joke he made about the fact that, like, you know, sex for him after marriage, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gotten to the point where his wife was like, you know, taking shots at him and stuff like that. And he was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, and that's another thing that I never understood, right? Kevin Hart is like older, right?
Right.
Like, women put a lot of like stress on us for sex. Like, there's a lot we got to do. You don't got to do that much. You don't got to do that much. List all the things you have to do. List them. Tell me.
What you mean during sex?
Yeah.
What you mean list the things
To
you
have
gotta
a good
do?
sexual sessions, what do you got to do?
Participation is a
What
lot.
is it you got to do to participate?
What?
What you gotta do?
This can go crazy.
What you got to
kind of
do?
question
You
are
ain't got to. You
asking
don't
me?
got to do nothing.
You don't have to do anything, but you should want to.
You should want to. Both people should want to. So that's off the table. But what do you have to do? What do you, at the bare minimum, what do you have
Show
to
up.
be able to? Yeah, exactly. That's the
Show
fuck
up.
Show up and shower. 2 S's, goddammit. Show up, shower. That's it. Us, we gotta, number one, we gotta do those 2 things too. Show up, shower. Right? We gotta get hard.
Yes, and stay hard.
We gotta stay hard. We gotta know how to use it. And then we gotta not come before you.
Yeah.
That's 4 things.
Okay.
Okay. But y'all put so much pressure. But Kevin Hart's wife putting pressure on him at like 40 something, even though she ain't got nothing to do. All she gotta do is like, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay. So okay, but that wasn't the joke.
Okay, go ahead.
That was my point.
'Cause I
My
can
whole
talk
point.
shit
What? What
about
you got
that.
to say? What the hell you got to say?
Seriously, think
Get it
about
off your
that.
chest first. Cause
Think about
Go
that.
ahead.
So, okay, the the best part about that is that we still desire you, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter how old and dusty your ass get, we still desire you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So us wanting to have sex with you and wanting to fuck you and only you,
Mm-hmm.
why is that a problem?
Who said it was
Get
a problem?
hard.
Who said it was a problem?
Okay, but
Who said, yo, that's my thing? You think it's just get hard.
there's a sex about to happen.
All right,
You
what
should
if a
be-
nigga
should-
told
should
you,
be like
get
this.
wet? What's the, I'm hard.
I don't got that
Why
problem.
aren't you wet?
I don't have that problem.
You don't have that problem. You can just get wet on demand.
Ask about me.
You
I
can
don't got that problem.
I'm gonna ask about you.
I don't have that problem.
Yo, anybody know? I'm gonna take. Yo, what's your tag you? Anybody know about how wet? Got the dumbass question. Ask about me.
But what
Stop
I'm
saying
saying,
that shit.
I know, right? But what I'm saying is, it's not. A lot of women can help you get hard. We can help you get hard. You really only got to show up and be receptive to having sex. Sex is about to happen. You should automatically be hard.
I don't necessarily agree with what the hell you said. I don't necessarily agree with what you're saying at all. You know what I mean?
Y'all have men naturally have active imagination.
Long story short, I didn't say it was a problem. I just said we have more shit to do. We have to do more. Like, put it this way: you could not eat right and get older and still have a pretty good sex life.
Right.
We can't do that. We can't do that. Our dick don't get hard the same and shit like that. Like, I know how well I'm eating by how hard I am in the morning.
Are you serious?
I'm dead ass. If I start eating some bullshit, let me start like splurging in a week, not really eating like no fruits, not drinking a lot of water, just eating a lot of like dumb like animal protein shit like that. Whether even if it's just fish and seafood, right? I'll notice I don't get up hard.
Are you serious?
Dead ass. I don't get up hard.
You know,
bro.
some people probably never made that connection yet.
I don't know why. I don't know, like, make that connection. But then every time I realize that, ask Ashley. I'll go on a smoothie nuts water binge for like 2 days. I'll just make smoothies, eat cashews, and drink water. What? After that, we out here. We waking up.
You should
we waking
talk about
up.
that.
We waking up. I'm telling you.
Talk about that more.
Really?
Seriously, ask people how many people know that or even
Damn.
connected.
Nah, well, pay attention,
That's because
fellas.
you're more in
If
tune
you're
with
not
your body
waking up,
than a
look, man.
natural
Yeah,
nigga.
man. Yeah, I guess so. Like, because I'm very like I put things I eat now for what I want to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I'm hungry. If I'm hungry, I take advantage of the opportunity to eat something that's gonna help my body. So it's like, how am I? Like, I base what I eat on how I'm feeling.
Right. Not everybody does that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I've been feeling sluggish. I need some something
Yeah,
that's
not
gonna give me
everybody
energy.
does that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that comes with age either, but you should talk about that more.
Yeah, I will. I didn't think there was value in that.
And the taste of your cum, like that shit is annoying as shit.
You know, the more the more water and fruit the clearer your piss is. This is a general rule.
Mm-hmm.
The clearer your piss is, the better your cum will probably taste.
Right.
If your piss is orange, damn, it's gonna be nasty.
The thing is, I think it's the
gonna
same.
be really
I
nasty.
think it's the same for women too, and I don't think a lot of women think. Well, no.
Yeah, it's gotta be the same for women.
That pineapple thing.
Because
is like
because
the
it's a
weirdest
stronger odor. Your pee has a stronger odor the darker it is. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that odor carries. Like, odor, everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything then comes
Right.
with more odor. If you notice, the clearer your piss is, the less odor. The more hydrated you are. The more hydrated you are, the more oxygenated your body is, the more it functions better. Like, I don't know. I thought
So where were you going with that question though?
Okay. So for the people that may have they're years in, we're talking 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in, right? Where it's like their sex life isn't necessarily better, right?
Right.
But they both want to improve it. Do you think they would benefit from having, you remember that part he did where we decided on the 8th?
Yeah.
Every month on the 8th,
And
like
you
that's the
reward it.
night that
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, do you think partners would benefit from a sex night? Like, whether you decide it's once a week, whether you decide it's once a month, whether you decide it's whatever it is, right? But that's the day that it could be dedicated towards him, towards her, towards them, but whatever it is, it's like, it's a day or a night that's dedicated that both y'all know, like, you're going to focus on that aspect of your relationship. Because you know what's crazy? When you notice it in your relationship that you have communicational problems, you could schedule a time to like, yo, let's sit down and work on our communication. When you decide that in your relationship you have like another type of problem, like you know, whether it's spending time, blah blah blah, you decide, you know what, let's set some time aside and it's just spend some time and some quality time.
Right.
But it's like if you notice that there's sexual problems, why not ever set some time aside? We're just gonna set some time aside and just focus on our sex life.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I think probably the issue comes into play when you make it the same day every month. That's weird.
You can set the rules.
Right,
I'm just
but
saying the
I'm
rules
saying
are
for
sex night.
yeah, that I think that's fine. I wouldn't make it the same time every single time.
What would you do? How would you do it?
Like what he did with the whole 6th or 8th or whatever thing, I wouldn't do that.
What would you do?
I would probably do. We would probably take it week by week.
Okay, so
and
once
only
a week.
because people change. Your life can change. Your ability to deliver can change. Your ability to want to be present. People's mental. Changes.
I think that's the whole point of having it. It's because with that constant change comes forgetfulness.
Right.
I mean, you don't realize it, but it's been this long before you've actually had great sex. Because sometimes y'all have rollover sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we haven't had sex. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, quick little thing before you go to work, da 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 da. And then people really be counting that as sex. Like, oh, we had sex this week. It's like, I mean, we came. Like, yeah, but like, did we really like take time to like explore each other's body like we did before? Like, here's the thing. Like, before marriage, right? If I'm coming over, we don't live together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming over, what you doing? You showering, you getting ready, you putting on this, there's a level of preparedness that you offer. Or when you're coming over, I'm showering, I'm doing this, I'm making sure, you know what I'm saying, my breath is, you know what I'm saying? Whereas even as a guy, I noticed after marriage, I was falling off, like from the standpoint of preparedness. Like I'm coming home, like, I mean, I'm coming to the bed, stink ass breath, just smoke downstairs, trying to like kiss up on you. Whereas like, if I was before marriage, if I was just gonna go see you and blah blah blah, I'd have never done that. I'd have at least stopped home, showered first.
Yeah.
I'd have made sure I Listerine. I'd have made it's a level of shit of preparedness I would take before marriage that I think that complacency of you know what I'm saying, after marriage, like, you know, comes in.
Yeah.
You don't experience that?
Yeah, now, you know I got OCD.
Yeah.
So I'm a bad person to ask that question. Because that's an all the time thing. I expect the same thing from him that he would expect from me. And I would give him the same thing. What do you mean? What is that? What is this look? I need answers. Why are you looking like this?
Nothing.
But no, like, so we both, like, we know what we like, and we knew what we expected from each other. But regardless, I would think that what I would do is I would probably connect it to like more of date nights. Like, so we know we going out, you know you trying to fuck afterwards. Like, you know what I mean? So it wouldn't be like, okay, Saturday we're gonna have sex. We're just in the house, cook dinner, feed the kids, go to bed.
So basically, you'd have it where
it would be an event.
You schedule at least one date night a week.
Right.
Whatever day works,
right.
That's the day. But whatever day that is, we know that night we're focused on each other's sex life.
Right.
Okay.
So not only, it's not just because then then it just becomes about the sex, and it doesn't become the
about
check-in
the intimacy
and the talking and the spending time. Because you could fuck somebody, like with me and him, it got to a point where we were just doing like, just at one point we were just having sex just to come. Like, I was frustrated. I could tell he was annoyed. So let's just fuck. So the intimacy wasn't there. The connection wasn't there. We would talk still. Like, we still had like a really strong verbal and emotional connection when it came to our conversation. But it wasn't connected with sex. It was more like, you're my friend and let's have a deep conversation. It wasn't like connected with the whole piece of the relationship, like the conversation, the emotions, the spiritual, the mental, and then the sexual. It was just us. Everything was like just separated. So what I would say is I would connect it to a date night. Okay. Once a week.
I like that.
So
because I think it keeps both people honest. I will say though, you are making a all right.
What were you going to say? I'm
Nothing.
what?
Nothing. I mean, there seems to be again a connection of there always seems to be an exchange of like sex for money, if that makes sense.
What do you mean?
Hey, if it's a date night, right? I'm taking you on a date.
Date night it doesn't necessarily mean we have to go out. We can
What
go
does it
make dinner and just go sit in a park and eat together.
You know what would happen? You be on the phone with your girl. This nigga talking about some fucking date night. I got dressed. This bitch ass nigga talking about some. Oh, we gonna fucking his broke ass talking about so we just gonna cook and go fucking eat across the street from his fucking house, girl. Yes, have me out there with mosquitoes on a goddamn blanket.
I would love that.
You would love that, huh?
Yeah.
You would love that.
And the person
all right.
would know.
I'll
that
tell
I
you
love
this.
that.
I'll tell you this. There's a lot of women that says this statement, right? That didn't count as a date.
No, that's absolutely
No,
a date.
I know
maybe
what you're
not
saying.
saying.
To that.
I know what
but
you're
saying. But they say it
but...
for things. So knowing as a guy, your date's gonna be graded or possibly graded, you're conditioned into like no guy looks at date night like I don't need no money. No fucking guy.
Okay, so this is my thing. If we want to segue into dating when it comes to shit like that, you know what type of woman you're taking out on a date if you're getting to that point where you want to do little.
I don't think we mind the money. I don't think we. I think you're looking at it like a bad thing.
I'm
just saying.
I'm saying the bitches that are like that don't count as a date. That shit. You know the type of bitch you fucking with when you get to that point. You know what type of materialistic person that is. You know that you can't take that type of person on no picnic date because she gonna play you later.
How you know what
and
I know?
You gonna be
I don't know nothing. I don't know shit.
Circle.
I don't know shit.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
You should.
I don't know shit.
If you're dating somebody, you should know that.
What would you do without the word should?
Samuel, you're really telling me that if you're dating somebody, you're not gonna know. You don't know this type of person that they're materialistic and they wouldn't like that.
I wouldn't know what.
That they wouldn't like that type of date.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, most dates, I don't look at, all right, let's say we have the arrangement, right? And every week, we might do the picnic shit this week, but next week, I know, my nigga, we can't do another picnic. I gotta take you out. So
why don't you do it on and off? Like, so I pick, then you pick, and then,
That would be dope.
So
so I take you out, you take me out.
Right.
Because it's 2020 and whatever I could do, you could do.
Why not?
50-50.
Yeah, why not? That's what I
That'd be dope.
That's why
No, you know what? You know what? All right. Agreed. Deal.
Are we going on a date? Me and Sam going on a date?
No, fool, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, never mind.
I'm saying that. I'm saying. You look like you would cuss out the waiter and shit. Like food too cold, too hot. You send this shit back 3 times. Yo, I'm covering my face. Like, oh my god, why I do this? Oh my god, I should have ordered and had another show. Fuck it. Like, look, no. I'm saying I think that would be a great compromise. Mm-hmm. I think that if you're post marriage and maybe your sex life didn't take an incline, it took a decline. Mm-hmm. Schedule alternating dates. Mm-hmm. Schedule alternating dates, and whoever initiates that, hey, do it like you have fun with it, like you bagging, like you're trying to bag, exactly. Like, hey, what you doing?
Exactly.
But no, same for you too. Like even if it's our kids, hit me up like, yo, when can you get a babysitter?
Send me a
I think that would be a great compromise too. If you have kids and you paying for the date, it's their job to find a babysitter. Fuck out of here.
Why not?
I'm the one hitting you up. I'm the one
down.
hitting you. It's being recorded live.
Okay.
So
I'm not live,
we can snippet it. But look, whoever hits, like, so let's say we're married, right? Mm-hmm. And you hit me up and you like, yo, like, get somebody to watch your nut ass kids. Even though they're your kids, right? Nut ass kids sometimes this weekend. I'm trying to take you out. Now it becomes my responsibility to find a sitter. That's dope.
Right.
And I think it's fair because you paid for it. And then now, once that's happened, then next week, it's on me. Because if you weren't living together, right? You didn't have the luxury of seeing each other every day and blah, blah, blah. You would be making sure you hit each other up every week to see each other, right? So keep doing that. Okay, I like it. Mm-hmm. I like it. I'm gonna incorporate it because I'll be lying. It's been a minute since I text asking. I was
You
like,
should
yo,
just send her a dick pic one day. See what happens.
send her a dick pic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that to like surface somewhere. Like she going through her presentations. Like, all right, so this is what we gotta do.
She
Oh
has
my
a
god.
whole folder of separate stuff.
Really?
Oh, you don't know that? I know.
Wow. When you sit down with the with the BFF, she got a folder of my dicks.
No, not of your dick. I mean, I've seen pictures of her. It's a whole separate folder. We don't keep it.
You're
just
gonna make her
we
phone
don't
get
we
hacked.
don't
Dude.
we
You
don't
tripping.
we
She gonna have
don't
to
sit
delete
here
everything now.
and keep our
Really?
pictures of vaginas next to our kids.
She
Like
didn't
you
really,
separate.
I might have
them.
to ask her to see it.
You don't know. You didn't see. Oh, you didn't hear that
bro.
from me then.
I didn't hear it from you.
No. Is she watching this?
You a dry snitzel.
I thought you would have known that.
That's why you snitched.
Yeah, she has nice pictures of herself
Yeah,
too.
I know a lot. Tell
Like
me more.
full
I know
frontals.
everything. Full frontal.
Yeah, you didn't see it.
Yeah, those I saw a couple of them.
Mhm.
She probably saying you shit she sent me already, you know that.
She didn't send them to me. I
Wait.
just be looking.
Oh, she didn't send. I was about to say, like, why the fuck would she send them to you? So you just be looking through her phone?
No, she was sitting right there doing it.
Yeah, do that.
Scrolling
Do you show her yours and shit?
No, it was that video. I've tried to show her a video before and she didn't want to look at it.
So you do try to show her shit.
I've seen her. I've showed her pictures before.
I've
I've showed her pictures before.
About 15 years, Jesus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should have like a picture party. Like,
Share your nudes.
you know what I'm saying?
Just
Get
come
rid of
over.
the kids, yo. Get rid of the kids, yo. You come over, yo. We start sharing pictures, yo.
No, but I
Start
think
taking
I think
pictures.
it's
Start
a,
making pictures.
I
What?
think it's a healthy idea.
No, I love it.
100%.
I love it because you know what? I didn't even think we would come up with a solution.
Why?
Because that wasn't a goal necessarily. Like I was just hoping to like just speak about it and then see where it went from there. Like learn from that discussion itself. You know, just the point of view that I might not necessarily be. I don't know, privy to. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was more than that. Like it was.
It's a really good idea. You can use it. I'm never gonna get married again.
You're not getting married again. Wow, you
I
done?
would never do that again.
Because of the freedom.
No, not just because of the freedom. I feel like it's not really necessary.
What's not necessary? Marriage? I mean, that's what we've been saying for years.
I feel like I've always said it. He was the one that wanted to get married.
Oh, it was him?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I've never. I feel like if it's not broke,
Don't fix it.
what are you fixing if it's not broke? Like at this point, I felt like it's more of like a toe tag. Like you just want to be able to say this is my person, which is cute.
I think so too. I think it's different too when you got kids.
Yeah.
Like when you got kids and like daddy got one last name, the kids got the same last name, and you're like, well, I'm the fucking mom. Like, how that's gonna look in the family tree? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's necessary for some people for what they believe in. For me and what I believe in, I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, necessary is a strong word. Is it necessary? You know, because you know, it's very simple. Can you survive without it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, so wow. All right. So let me see. I think you answered all my questions. Is marriage the finish line? Yes, it is. You piece of shit. Okay. Do you put in as much effort into seduction after? And in fact, you put in more seduction.
I know, right?
Sucking more dick.
Mm-hmm. Gotta pay to get rid of
Unicorn, baby. Unicorn. Well, she's not getting married anymore. So much for them increased dick sucks, guys. You're never going to get there. Do you feel you made a huge sexual sacrifice by getting married? Clearly by your preference, you did. Was sex better for you before or after? You said it was better after, but you still prefer before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel couples would benefit from a sex night? And you said yes.
Yeah.
And your question, you said I answered?
No.
Oh, I'm done.
We didn't segue into it, but
We'll
I wanted
transition
to
into
talk
it.
more about you as a husband, your focal point or your spouse after marriage and sex. Like your viewpoint, like
You know what it is? Not becoming stale.
How do you avoid that?
sense. Well, you know what's crazy? It's something that I've learned could backfire. Like how you try that is you try to incorporate new things, right?
What do you mean backfire?
I'm trying to tell you, right? So, like how I tried to avoid getting stale is I tried to incorporate new things, right? So I'll like do weird shit. Like I'll watch porn and like I'll watch like how women like use the dildo and be like, oh, that's how you like the dick. You know what I'm saying? I do shit like that. So because I'm always trying to come up with something new, like something, you know what I mean? Keep it. I guess because again, for me, my mentality is it gets stale, right? The same thing gets stale. So like that's my version of like trying to add something to the side, trying to spice it up is like trying to do something new. But here's what I mean by backfire. Like I learned it in doing that, that could cause more suspicion than anything. Because where you're trying something new,
I see what you're saying.
where you're trying something new and thinking like, oh my God, I'm trying to figure some new way to pleasure you, blah, blah, blah. This person's like, where the fuck did this person get this from? Mm-hmm. And you're, and it, so that's what I mean by it could completely backfire.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be, so yeah, if there was one thing I tried to do, it would be like not become stale, but it was a bad idea. No, because, you know, it's like for y'all, it's like y'all really like it the way y'all like it. It's like, if you like it this way, boom, boom, do this, and that. Y'all want that every time.
No, not necessarily, because it can, like, I never liked the uniform sex. Like I never when it got to a point where I'm like, okay, he's gonna want me to turn around in 2 minutes, or he's gonna want to do this, or I know that this leg has to go here, and this one like once that happens, it's kind of like a.
I get that, but let's say like the way he eats you out, right? Let's say there's a perfect way to eat you out.
Like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, who the fuck you doing this with? No, so that did happen to me. And I'm like, and so, but the funny thing is I didn't say anything for like the first 5 times.
But the whole time
so I dealt with it.
This nigga here.
He couldn't enjoy it.
That's crazy. But and the whole time he like, oh, I'm doing some new shit. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's like you don't want like that, but don't you understand? Eating you the same way forever makes eating you become stale. It's like you want me to do the same thing the same way over until I die. No problem, then I'll do that. You know, but then bring in one day, bring in another motherfucker I could try new shit with.
So so the same thing for y'all. Y'all like having your dick stuck the same way all the time? You know the end result, if I do it a certain way.
I don't mind if you try some new, if I like, all right, put it this way. I like having my dick sucked, but I like it to also be an expression of how you feel at the time. I know sometimes you're going to be in that mood, right? And sometimes you might be in that, I like both. So it's like, for me, I just like the expression of it more so than, like, that's what turns me on about it. So it's not like a specific way. I mean, if I had to pick a specific way that I would say is consistent, it would be with care, you know, with admiration. With adoration. What's the problem? You asked me a question. You see what I'm saying? Wait. I don't like this.
I don't know why it's so funny.
You asked me if there's a specific way. I told you. That was one routine way. That's my routine way.
What does without care look like? I don't know.
Oh my God, without care? It's like, oh God. It's a lot of breaks. I tell you what. It'd be like, a lot of conversation. So is this what you like, right? It's really what you want. Oh, you like this. Yeah. It's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of, it's like as soon as it's hard, that's it. As soon as it's hard, it's like, all right, well, it's not even hard yet. Like, it's like getting hard. It just, it's 90% hard. Well, all right, it's hard enough for me. It's hard enough to go in. It's going to have to finish getting hard in there. That's that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Now, with care, be like, damn, come on now. Come on. Get on
Please,
this.
I can't. Where's...
This is the difference. Man, look, man. The same way you know bullshit pussy eating from a motherfucker that love eating pussy.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? Just understand we know bullshit head from I love sucking this dick. We know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
That makes sense. I'm just saying, I'm okay with consistency. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Because my end goal is the orgasm. I don't give a fuck about the theatrics and shit. Like, I don't care.
I get it. But understand that that was easier to give you before marriage with the freedom. I could do all the different shit with her. So I could just give you consistency. I could do exactly what you want every time you want it the same way, no problem, because it's not stale to me at that point, because like there's you know what I'm saying, like I could do the different, you know what I'm saying, like you're not the only one. Right. So it's like each time I'm doing that with you again, it's new again. But if that's like the same thing we did the last 97 times, like about times 98, I'm like, fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like, I think I might eat ass. Like, just to mix it up. Now what? You're going to be like, who fucking ass this nigga? This nigga out there eating ass? Wow. You see what I'm saying? It feels like a damned if we do, damned if we don't type of situation, because if we give you what you want, it doesn't feel like there's much happiness in there for us, considering the sacrifice we gave up. Like we established from the very beginning, your preference is one person, and we established from the very beginning that's not my preference. Mm-hmm. So if you know that, all right, I have, in addition to the freedom, which is the huge sacrifice I gave up, I also gave up on my preference. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, as a result of all this, like, here I am.
Yeah.
Like, this is me. This is where that's landed me. Like, this is the reward. Almost. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like...
We could say that for us, too.
Not really, because understand this was what you wanted. You wanted one. You're okay with the repetition. You're okay with the routine. The only person that has to deal with something they're not okay with is me.
Are you really not okay with it?
What do you mean? One person?
Yeah.
Forever? I'm okay with it for the most part.
Because just like you said before, this Sam doesn't know 50-year-old Sam.
Right.
So you don't know what it's going to be like 10 years down the line. You know right now you're probably in a place where it's like, this is not okay. But that doesn't mean that 50-year-old Sam or 2 years from now you're going to be like, I can deal with this.
Yeah, I'm not. So I'm not going to make a decision for him. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll just make a decision for this Sam. What's the question? Okay. A good question.
I'm just saying you really don't know if you're okay with it.
Okay with what?
Because you're imagining forever. Like, you're thinking about the forever.
I do know I'm okay with it if I wanted to smash someone today, right? And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it, right? And then the day before, and then the day after, and then the day after, you know, like, okay, I'm going to keep saying no. I'm going to keep saying no. But you also know that I'm not going to be this strong for 50 years. I'm not going to be this strong every single day of my life for 50 years.
I feel like men run out of steam to do that, though.
I mean, if we do, then that's not really us making a decision, right?
Right, that's the life making a decision.
Yeah, that's life making a decision. But just like you said, I can't make the decision for 50-year-old me. Aren't you asking me to make the decision for 50-year-old me by promising you that 50-year-old me won't do the shit? My whole point is saying that because I can't make a decision for the future me, I can't tell you the future me won't fuck up. I could tell you the present me won't fuck up.
Okay,
but I can't tell you the future me won't fuck up.
I get what you're saying. That's why I feel like those date nights and those emotional, sexual, mental check-ins would do good.
They absolutely help, because I'll tell you one thing. The healthier my sex life is with my partner, the less desirable I find other women. Mm-hmm. It's just that simple. Now, the difference is for women, there's like no desire. Like if you have a good sex life with your partner, you like don't desire anyone. Like there's
That's
nobody
true.
in your job. If you have a great sex life with your partner, there's no one in your job you want to fuck, right? Whereas a dude could have the best sex life with his partner. There's at least 3 bitches at his job that oh my he's not going to, but he wants to fuck the shit out of them. At least 3. One just
He
started
said at
last
least.
week, last Thursday. I'm just trying to tell you. That don't mean he don't love. Look, I'm just saying how we're built differently, right? But he's gonna continue to say no to those 3, just from the standpoint of the actions he takes. Like where he would normally try to sit close to her at lunch and spark up a conversation, he's gonna say no, I'm not gonna do that, and then he's just gonna take his food and go somewhere else. Like it's those types of decisions that a faithful man makes. It's those types of things that make you feel like you sacrifice. So it's like in exchange, you kind of feel like damn. And that's what I said. That's why I said I always hated compromise, right? Because sacrifice leads to entitlement and resentment. So now I make that sacrifice. Now I come home feeling like now you're supposed to fulfill my every sexual need because of the sacrifice I made. You might not be in the mood, but okay, now it's your turn to sexually sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Like, or is it? But that's where I think a lot of the issue comes in because it's like, as a woman, it's like I have to want this for it to be good. You know what I mean? Which I respect too. You know what I mean? It's like, I understand you want this, but it's like, I don't want this. So it's like, for whatever reason, whether it's I can't keep up with your pace, whether it was that type of day I was having, whether it's I just, I'm just not in the mood right now, right? And I'm like, it's that enough compounding of both of those things. Eventually, you reach a level as a guy where you're like, I'm ready to snap. I'm ready to fuck up. Like, it's not your fault. You could blame it on who I am. You could blame it on the circumstance.
But that's where I'm saying I feel like those little, like I said, the sexual and emotional, mental check-ins would do good.
Okay.
Because if I don't know where I'm lacking, and I don't know the day you've had where you can honestly say to me, hey, there was this bitch I looked at and she had a fat ass and I wanted to fuck her, but I turned the other cheek and now I want to fuck you. And then the woman, are we really going to be like, no?
Yeah, wait, you feel like you would need to know that?
Not that I would need to know it, but I wouldn't be mad if you told me.
Yeah, okay, but that, look, I think there are couples that have that comfort
like, for instance,
level, right? And then there are couples that, quite honestly, they don't have that comfort level because I think there are people that are more receptive to that kind of information where when they hear it, you don't have hell to pay.
Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
So remember, it was one of my lives where I said, when we find out that our man is cheating or we think that our dude is cheating, I said that it made me feel like I gave him better sex. And everybody was like, why, girl, why? And I said, because it was competition. And they're like, competition? Yeah, it's competition. For at least I know for me, and I've spoken to other women after this, and they agreed with me. If I know that another woman is possibly pleasing you more than I have been, because I know I've been slacking, I'm going to step my game up. So if you came home from work and said, hey, there was this bitch that I saw and her ass was fat and I want to fuck her, guess who's getting head?
Yeah, but all right, okay.
Right?
But,
it's going to make me want to step my game up because I don't want you
though,
to desire anybody else. He said that to me before.
I'm just saying that's you. There's a lot of dudes that come home like, yo, there's this women, there's these 3, or there's one chick at my job, yo, I really, really want. And that in itself will cause hell. That night, there's a huge argument. Because he's wrong for even feeling that way. Never mind that he didn't act on it.
I see what you're saying.
But just because he even felt that way, he's criminalized. Some men are criminalized for even those feelings.
Something you can't control.
Right. So it's like, at that point, he's doomed?
No.
So what happens? What's his option?
With me?
No, what's his option? What's that guy?
I don't know, because I don't know who that woman is. Like, that's why I say that it's hard for me, and that's part of the reason why I like talking to you, because I feel like I'm not as connected to, did that end?
No.
I'm not as connected to the woman's perspective. I'm more connected to the man's perspective.
No, I was shocked to hear your answers and to hear me agree with them 100%. Like from the standpoint of, earlier, like what
I
you
mean, even
like
in this
best.
situation,
Yeah.
like I don't mind. Like I didn't mind. It was like I told you, it was one woman that he worked with, and he told me he came home and he said, "Yo, this girl got a fat ass," and and I'm like, "Well, do you want to fuck her?" He's like, "I thought about it." Okay, like I appreciate being told that, as
Hmm.
opposed to me finding out that you talking to this girl or you
Wait, you
doing
don't
some weird
assume?
shit.
So you mean to tell me outside of that conversation, you don't assume there's always a fat ass bitch you wanna?
No, I would assume it, but he's not gonna tell me every single
Yeah,
time.
no, but it's
But
always
I
that's
felt
gonna
like
be a constant in his life.
he told me that because he thought about it. Like he really was thinking about it.
Okay.
And so that's what made it different.
Okay.
So I don't not appreciate I appreciate that. If that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if we have any questions. Vegetarian. Feel ya. I feel ya. Preach, preach. Sam, gang, gang. She cute. What the fuck? I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
For what? For
Thank you
being
for
me?
for the conversation. And again, we had today on Simonville Says. My guest was Shay from Asé After Dark.
Yes.
At
Tag it.
all
Follow
things
it.
I say,
Tag it and follow it.
tag it and follow it. It's a great podcast. She's had me as a guest multiple times. It's one of my funnest podcasts to do actually.
Yes, it is.
Um,
Now I'm gonna take over this one too.
I don't care. I don't care. I like your perspective, and I like that you're not scared to share it. So you definitely will be a regular.
Yes, I will.
All right. Well,
I
thanks.
live here now.
All right, y'all. It was great. Peace.